Welcome back to Angles of Elevation and Depression. Here we'll look at some more problems where the focus will be on solving for missing side lengths. So example 1. A ski lift reaches the top of a hill that is 1,500 meters high. The chairs lift the skiers at an angle of elevation of 35 degrees. How long to the nearest meter is the cable ride to the top? Well, the angle of elevation is found between horizontal line and a line of sight to the top of the hill. So between these two lines, we write 35 degrees. Now the hill is 1,500 meters high, so that goes here. And we're looking for how long the cable ride to the top is. So now if I label the sides to determine which trig ratio I'm going to use, I see that 1,500 is across from the angle, so this is the opposite. X is across from the 90, so it's the hypotenuse. Now opposite and hypotenuse means we use the sine ratio. So setting it up, I see we get sine 35 equals 1,500 over x. Now in order to solve for x, we need to cross multiply. So x times sine 35 equals 1,500. Now to isolate x, we need to divide both sides of the equation by sine 35. So now on the left, I just have x, and on the right, I need to divide 1,500 by sine 35. So now in the calculator, what I get when I round it to the nearest meter is 2,615. So then we can say that the cable ride to the top is 2,615 meters long. Now for example 2, from the top of a lighthouse, a light shines on a boat at sea. The beam of light is 72 meters long and the angle of depression to the boat is 24 degrees. What is the horizontal distance from the boat to the base of the lighthouse to the nearest meter? So we'll say that here's the rock which the lighthouse is on. And in the water here, we have our boat. So now the angle of depression is found by drawing a horizontal line and then a line to the object. So I'll put my 24 degree angle of depression here. And we know that the beam of light is 72 meters long, so that's here. And we're looking for the horizontal distance between the boat and the base of the lighthouse. So that's this distance, but that's the same as this one up here. So I'm going to put x up in the triangle. So now labeling the sides, x is the adjacent and 72 is the hypotenuse. So that means we're going to use cos. Cos of 24 equals x over 72. Cross multiplying gives me 72 times cos 24. And working that out and rounding it to the nearest meter, I get 66. So we can say that the boat and lighthouse are 66 meters apart. And for example 3, it says, Leslie is standing on top of a 15-meter high building and sees her friend Mary on the ground. Leslie's eye height is 1.3 meters and sees her friend at an angle of depression of 60 degrees. How far is Mary to the nearest tenth of a meter from the building? So let's just say that this is the building that Leslie is standing on. And then her friend Mary is down here on the ground. Now the angle of depression from her eyes, so we'll draw a horizontal line, and a line straight down to Mary. That angle depression is 60 degrees. Now we know that the building is 15 meters high and her eyes are 1.3 meters high. So now, for this side here in the triangle, I'm going to add 15 and 1.3 for a total of 16.3 meters. So now we're looking to see how far Mary is from the building. Now this distance is the same as this one up here. So again, I'll put my X up top. Now labeling my sides, 16.3 is the opposite side and X is the adjacent side. So that means I'm going to use tan here. So tan of 60 degrees equals 16.3 over X. Cross multiplying. I get this, and now I'm going to have to divide by tan 60. And when I divide 16.3 by tan 60 on the calculator, I get 9.4. So we can say that Mary is 9.4 meters away from the building. Now, just to show you that there's another way in which this diagram could have been drawn, I will redraw the building with Leslie standing on top and her friend down below. We could have also drawn our triangle this way. There's a property of parallel lines which say that we draw a horizontal line. This angle here is the same as this angle here. So my 60 degrees could go down here. And here's my 15 and my 1.3 for then a total of 16.3. So your triangle could also be drawn this way as well. So you can retry example 2 by drawing your triangle in a different way to see that you get the same answer.